What's going on, YouTube? Devin here, back with another reaction video. This one we are starting a new series. I'm very much looking forward to this one because I am a massive Nathan Fielder fan. The show is called The Rehearsal. I know very little about this show other than, I guess, the premise is that Nathan Fielder kind of walks people through rehearsals for major life events. That's pretty much the description of the show. Other than that, I've seen the meme of Nathan with the laptop coming off his shoulders and him like standing in different, like people superimpose him into different situations. Other than that though, I don't know like anything about what happens, how things play out. I assume this is gonna have a Nathan For You vibe to it. This almost seems like the premise of the show itself almost feels like a Nathan For You episode. So I definitely think we're gonna see some of the DNA of Nathan For You, which is one of, in my opinion, one of the greatest comedies I've ever watched. It's so interesting to watch. One, these crazy ideas that Nathan comes up with. Like, he seems to be like some sort of evil genius. But like, instead of focusing on world domination, instead he focuses on coming up with the craziest ideas to help people. There were a few episodes where it wasn't really him helping anybody. I'm trying to remember. I don't think he was helping anybody when he did that magic trick, the escape act, where if he didn't get out of the cuffs in time, a robot was going to pull his pants down in front of a bunch of kids. Some of those episodes weren't really about helping people as much as just doing some crazy elaborate thing. But still, the ridiculousness in the comedy came from just how elaborate these ideas of his were. So I'm very excited to see what kind of crazy ass elaborate scenarios he sets up in this, because I've heard really good things about this. Like I said, I love Nathan Fielder. The dude has like one of the most unique minds when it comes to this type of thing. I don't think you could I guess you could maybe consider them pranks, but they're not really pranks because, like, at least in Nathan For You, like I said, like, it was about him trying to help the companies. Yeah, he did it in a very absurd manner and the ideas were borderline dumb, but they worked and they were hilarious, but they benefited the mark, so to speak, the person that he chose to help for that episode. Like, the plans for the most part legit worked, and yeah, like I said, they were elaborate and bordering on like insanely dumb, but they worked. So I don't know if you would consider that a prank. I don't know what you would consider that, but this type of thing, yeah, he's one of the best at doing these. So I'm excited to see what the hell this is about. If you enjoy this reaction and you want to see more, hit that like button, leave a comment, let me know what you think, and consider hitting that subscribe button. It helps me, helps the channel, and I'd greatly appreciate it. If you want to see more of my content, I have a podcast I do on the channel. I have other reactions to other series. I do the occasional review, and I have some other types of videos that I do on here occasionally. So feel free to check out that stuff as well. And without further ado, let us get into episode 1 of The Rehearsal.
A few months ago, Core responded to a vague Craigslist post I put on the internet,
Is there something
sharing
you're
a story
avoiding?
about a lie he told his bar trivia team over 12 years ago.
I told my friends that I had an advanced degree and I didn't.
Oh wow, quite a collection.
Yeah, a bibliophile.
How to make love all night and drive a woman wild.
Oh, well, you know.
I think we're gonna get along pretty well.
a friend on the team that keeps sending me jobs that require a master's degree. So now it's being shoved back in my face again, and I'm running out of excuses.
I assume you've seen some of my previous work, or?
I'm afraid I haven't.
Okay. I made a show called Nathan For You.
Okay.
Didn't you say your trivia specialty is television?
I
I mean, you should check it out.
Oh,
love how he's 5 minutes in and he's plugging his old TV show.
Everything that's happened so far today, I've rehearsed it dozens of times. These exact words in a replica of your home with an actor playing you.
Oh.
Remember a couple weeks ago when the gas company came
Oh
by
my
because of
God.
leak in your building?
yes.
That wasn't a leak in your building. That was my team. And when you gave them access, they secretly made a digital map of your entire home. You then recreated every detail of the space as a physical set in a warehouse a few miles from here. And with the help of a fake you, I could practice every single permutation of this interaction and have a plan for it. The actor I hired analyzed your submission video to mimic your speech patterns and psychology.
Playing it to me with my parents. I can't remember, maybe I was about 10.
How to make love all night and drive a woman wild.
Yeah, that was
I feel like we're gonna get along pretty well. And we tried over and over.
Bruh.
Hi, Nathan.
Hi.
Hi.
Hey.
Nathan. Hi.
Hi.
Nathan.
Hi.
Oh,
What is this?
Door City over here, huh? And I'd adjust each time until I perfected it. So everything that's happened so far today, I've rehearsed it dozens of times. These exact words in a replica of your home with an actor playing you.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh, this shit's gonna be wild.
But as we kept talking, I began to understand the real reason he had been putting this off for so long.
Well, it's good except for one thing. Suppose one of my friends might give a reaction that's very, very violent on some people, even beyond the several predictions you can make.
So you got a angry friend?
You know, calling me names and saying things that are so unforgivable that I couldn't be their friend after that.
Who are you worried about specifically? I found myself in an odd situation. Core was willing to point out his friend in a photo, but he wouldn't tell me anything else about her. She looks so nice. What is it about?
Oh, she's a nice person, very nice, but how do I put it? If depending on her mood, you don't want to cross.
It's
it
She-Hulk.
too much.
It's She-Hulk.
God, okay.
Oh my God.
Perhaps I had done something to put him off. Thinking back, there was a somewhat off-color joke I tried after a trip to the bathroom. Oh my God, I should start traveling with a plunger. Good.
Ooh.
You think you would find that funny? Or?
Yeah.
But when I did it with the real Core, it didn't land. Oh my God, I should start traveling with a plunger.
Oh well. Oh well. I should have messed up.
He doesn't even have a plunger. Who doesn't have a
I'd
plunger?
intended the joke to be self-deprecating about my unpredictable bowel movements. But reflecting on it later, I realized he could have interpreted it as a criticism that his bathroom was under-equipped. So I planned a day trip for us upstate that was strategically designed to endear me to him and hopefully get him to open up. I didn't tell Core, but I had arranged ahead of time to have the guns loaded with blanks, in the hopes that it would create a moment of bonding because we were both bad at this. Ah! You fired too early, man.
I thought you were early.
Wow, we're not good at this.
But it's nice to have a new experience.
That's a good outlook.
You mentioned you were married?
Yes. It's married for 5 years.
I was married for 3 years.
Didn't know that.
I didn't want to go too deep into my private life, so I had pre-planned for an elderly swimmer to interrupt.
I was about to say, this dude is probably planted.
But on the ride home, Core finally told me the name of his trivia friend, Trisha, and what she did for a living.
She's been mostly a freelance writer, and she has a blog,
What's the blog called?
Cheap Chick in the City.
Cheap Chick in the City?
Cheap Chick in the City.
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 I was hopeful this blog would be enough for the rehearsal actress we'd hired to base her performance on, in addition to Core's insights. So to get her better access, I decided to create a blog of my own called Thrifty Boy, and offered Trisha the opportunity to write an article for us. And luckily, she took the gig.
Oh my god.
The article would entail interviewing a professional bird watcher for our site, because bird watching is a thrifty thing to do. But what Trisha didn't know is that she'd be interviewing her own doppelganger.
Should you imagine doing something and then, like, realizing you're in the middle of a Nathan Fielder plot?
Trisha. Ah, that's my daughter's name.
There's not very other Trishas or Patricias ever. So do you have any favorite birds?
Over the course of the 30-minute encounter, our actress had trouble getting a single word in, even though she was the one being interviewed.
So I have all the apps, for the different, airlines on my phone, ready to go whenever I do fly.
Yeah.
American Airlines, Delta, GoGo Flight Entertainment.
But before it was over, I wanted to get a sense of how Trisha would respond to being lied to, data that would be crucial for our rehearsal.
There's actually something I need to come clean about.
Okay.
I said early on that my daughter's name is Trisha, but that was actually a lie.
Okay.
I don't have a daughter.
Oh, wow, okay. I guess I should guess when you said you were 39, because it's a little young to have a daughter these days. That's okay.
What?
That's funny, because like I said, you don't meet too many other Trishas, so I was a little surprised, but that's interesting, but I understand.
She's taking it well.
Funny moments that you had with birds, or any fun stories about birds?
I was surprised by how not mad Trisha was. Was Core worried for nothing? Or was Trisha just able to bottle up her rage because it was a stranger?
Truth be told, I think the only place that would not arouse suspicion, because it's something we do out of habit already.
Okay.
I can probably get her in a trivia event by ourselves, just between the two and I.
But when I saw the trivia bar Core frequents, I was overwhelmed by the chaos of the environment. This is footage I collected from the Alligator Lounge in Brooklyn, and it seemed like any aspect of this space could radically transform the tone of his big moment. I had learned this firsthand when I met Core. I thought I would look cool, but due to just a slight difference in chairs, I looked like a fool. And I didn't want to leave anything to chance. So with the clock now ticking, I invited Core into my secret warehouse to begin his rehearsal.
Well, this is the perfect replica. I mean, there's not even the funhouse version of it they did.
Holy shit.
Every detail was meticulously replicated this time.
Oh my gosh.
Dude. What the fuck?
You see that balloon there? That's in the real bar.
Wow. It'll be like walking in a normal level and
How
then
the
being
fuck
able to
did they do
my
that?
bearings.
When you show up on the actual night, it'll feel just like this.
Dude, that is insane.
You're Willy Wonka in the chocolate factory. I'm Charlie Bucket, trying to get the.
I don't remember the plot fully. What did Willy Wonka do? Was he good?
Well, he
Was he a
created.
bad guy?
Well, he had some questionable things. He was this mysterious factory full of candy, basically.
But I'm the bad guy in that
Well, but
story?
he's a dream maker,
Okay.
and you're making some dreams happen for
But
me.
kids died in the factory?
Well, they supposedly died. I don't know for sure if they actually
Okay.
didn't, but they didn't get some good fate out of it.
I'll read the book again just to to look into it. Good. Core proposed that on the night he would arrive early and secure his favorite table using his hat, while he went to grab their trivia sheet and drinks for the two of them from the bar.
Hi, can I help you?
Yes, can I have an orange juice, snow pulp, and a margarita, please?
Coming right up.
Orange juice, no pulp. That's what you get at trivia?
Is that a margarita? What did you put in there?
I don't know. Just make it. I don't know how to make a margarita.
I don't know how to make a margarita.
Every way Trisha could react, I would input a planned response from Core into specialized flowchart software.
Hey,
Trish to dish.
how you doing?
This would allow us to chart the optimal path through the evening, a decision tree that would guide us towards key milestones and help us avoid pitfalls.
Trish to dish.
Core had told me there was a chance Trisha could misinterpret his invitation as a sign of romantic interest, but when we ran that simulation, he gave confusing signals.
You're leaving your hand touching hers right there.
Well, if I move it, then it's gonna bring more suspicion to it.
I mean, as a woman, how would you take that if you touched a guy's hand and he just left it there?
She could read that as you flirting back.
So I had Core practice some standard defenses to any advance she might make.
It's really nice of you to get me a drink. Like I feel like it's just yeah, it's nice to get. I tell you what happened with my laptop.
No,
Yeah,
I
so
didn't.
the other day I went to switch it on and it just didn't switch on, and like it was you know that thing of I was in the middle of writing something, so I'm thinking I'm gonna lose the pictures that are in there.
Dude, this has got to be so fucking trippy to be in like a simulation of a place you go to a lot, and then somebody like nailing the mannerisms of someone that you're around a lot, like subbing in for, like, it's just gotta be surreal.
Right.
Like he just couldn't make any kind of conversation, and he suddenly said like something about like pineapple being a member of the citrus family, and like
My educational situation is up front.
He just busted right into it.
But just starting his confession wasn't the only challenge. Core was most worried about the aftermath.
The ideal thing would be to talk about it for 5 minutes and then move on. I don't want to linger. I just want to say it and then pretty much have it dropped.
Bro, you've been pretending to have a master's degree for 14 years, and
I don't owe you an explanation for that. I really don't. I owe you an apology for putting you through that, but I don't feel I owe you an explanation.
all right, well, can we like discuss it like after the trivia?
I don't want to discuss it any longer about the situation. So I'd rather say it at least after the last round, but
bro, talk about it. It's a normal thing to want to just be like, well, what?
Started incorporating full rounds of trivia into our rehearsal. It revealed a problem.
What is the number on the roof of the bus in Speed? What is the number on the roof of the bus?
His real fraud is that he's not good. Oh.
He couldn't focus on anything else.
that's right. I'm gonna lose some points on this one. Yeah. I thought I would have known who hosted Wheel of Fortune before.
This is how I would be if we were simulating a trivia situation. I love trivia, especially movie, TV trivia.
And he grew frustrated that the stress of having to confess this lie was affecting his trivia game.
Right, but who cares if you lose the game? You got this off your chest. I mean, it's just one night of bar trivia.
Ooh. One night of bar trivia is sacrosanct to us. Then I'm gonna have two things against me. I messed up a good trivia night, and I lied to her. So to me, I gotta take one of them out the equation.
Bro, you're spiraling. This is defense mechanisms. This is also very intriguing. He's gonna get the answers.
So posing as the founder of the popular blog Thrifty Boy, I arranged an interview with the real trivia host at one of the other bars he hosts at, under the pretense of doing a Thrifty Boy Trivia Night feature. I told him
Very
we wanted
cool.
the profile to include an interactive video component in which he would read the questions for the alligator.
He's just
Lounge's
eating ketchup.
It was one thing to get the trivia questions for the big night, but making sure Core knew the answers would be its own challenge. I knew that cheating at trivia was something Core doesn't tango with.
Have you ever cheated at trivia?
No.
So we started going on daily walks, just to chat about life. But I was actually using these casual strolls to covertly implant every single trivia answer into Core's brain without him knowing.
I'm not a big summer person, and I'm not a big spring person.
All over my DKNY pants. Donna Karen, New York, DKNY.
Building's looking pretty tall.
It is tall, but it's not the tallest building in the world. That would be the Burj Khalifa in Dubai.
What's going on here?
It's a hostage situation. Guys, 4 people at gunpoint. Shot someone in the head on his way in.
Oh my god, that's nuts.
Oh my gosh.
So it's days like these that I curse the Chinese for inventing gunpowder.
It's days like these where I curse the Chinese for inventing gunpowder.
We ran through the entire night 13 times. But unlike real life, in here, you can always hit the reset button and start over. It was the one place on Earth you couldn't fail.
Orange juice, no pulp.
Such a bizarre drink order for the bar. Let's get an orange juice, no pulp.
As we neared the end, Core seemed to be testing new approaches. But that
Holy
didn't mean
shit.
Trisha always took it well.
Well, I don't understand why you felt the need to lie about your education. I mean, it's really messed up.
Well,
Is this what you think a friendship is? Like, you have no respect for me, no respect for my time. I don't give a crap about your education. But a 12-year deception, that's
12 years.
12 years.
Yeah, that's... He just wants to end the conversation.
He lied about having a master's degree. I just heard their conversation. No master's degree.
And the loser of tonight's trivia is Core Skeet.
Yeah, everyone in the bar talking shit.
Still felt good that I got off my chest. Even if it means I might lose a friendship in the process.
Such a bizarre thing to lie about, but now when you're in so deep...
We had planned for Core to get there early to secure his chosen table. But when he arrived, there was a problem. The table was taken.
Oh, I thought they
Fortunately,
would have...
We had rehearsed for this exact scenario.
Pardon to bother you. My grandmother died of brain cancer recently, and this terrible thing. This table here is like a sentimental thing. I know you're all settled here, but would you consider moving to another area?
I can't believe that worked. Those people were very nice.
Yes. Do you have it with no pulp? That was.
As expected, Trisha showed up not in the best spirits, but Core knew exactly what to talk about to cheer her up.
The Bush twins, Jenna and Robert, they're the only 2 children of a president that are twins.
Why did he pick this topic though?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the moment you all been waiting for. We're gonna start playing trivia. What mode of transportation places the rider in a laid-back, reclining position, distributing the rider's weight comfortably over a large area?
These freaking recumbent bikes are everywhere.
Core was slightly off on the first question, and I was worried these answers weren't fully absorbed into his brain. But then, things started to turn around.
The correct answer is the French Revolution. The correct answer, gunpowder. And the correct answer to that is called Burj Khalifa.
I used to go to trivia all the time. I miss that shit.
Streak that continued until the end of round 4, and he seemed to be brimming with confidence by the time he got up to hand in his score sheet. In our fake bar, we had practiced an option where he would get pizza for both of them right after the 4th round, so it would be easier for him to initiate the confession while her mouth was full. And since she was in a chatty mood, it seemed like he had decided to go for it. But then, something happened.
Uh-oh. He decides to back out. He doesn't do it.
Wait for his pizzas. Trisha wasn't talking. It was the perfect opportunity to begin his confession, but for some reason, he wasn't doing it.
Come on, bro.
Any of those drink coupons?
You got this.
You know, the pizza tastes better after a certain period of time. The pizza's good, but then after a couple rounds, it really hits it to the last spot, especially after a couple rums and cokes.
Come on, bro. You got this. Oh, his wheels are fucking turning in his head. He's like, do I do this? Oh, come on, bro.
And as the clock kept ticking, he just sat there.
Oh, this is so interesting to watch this guy, because this is like genuine. It's like tapping into a side of, like a genuine side of humanity that a lot of people try to hide, but you get this insight into it. And this is kind of happened to Nathan for you as well, where you get this insight into emotions that you don't normally see from people. Like this is just interesting to see this guy.
You know,
you can see his internal struggle.
Oh, in my mind I've had to deal with, and you know, maybe it's there. Right? Okay, almost around the corner.
Come.
What's that?
They ring the bell. They're getting closer to making the pizza.
I get you. What were you saying before?
I feel bad that it's been bothered me a long time to tell you this.
What's that?
My whole educational life has been like a kind of a fraud.
Really?
Yeah. See, remember when I was showing pictures of my graduation a couple years ago in front of the gang and everything like that? And then you asked at the time, said that I got a master's degree.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of went along with it.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I felt kind of bad because I didn't want to level with you about that.
Okay. Well,
I was only going my bachelor's degree at the time.
it's still pretty impressive. I mean, you know, lots of people don't have bachelor's degrees. It's cool. I'm not
Yeah.
surprised, but like, I thought you had a master's, but
Hang on a second. 1 second.
Well, she seemed to take that pretty well. Is that it? She's not even gonna ask any more questions about it?
so wow, I didn't realize you didn't have your master's degree because I thought you did.
I came into the group, the trivia group, I was like the last person that even had a college degree. And I kind of felt like inferior about that.
That's so silly. You don't feel silly about that. Lots of people barely even finish high school. My sister barely got her GED like a few years ago.
Instead of trying to move on to another topic, Core sat with her for the next hour and a half and began sharing things that he had never
I
told
fucking
Trisha
knew it. It's
in
like
their
you can't
nearly
just
20 years of
stop
friendship.
at that.
My father used the situation where he said the child support could be for my college education, for me and my sister.
So how are you feeling?
Fantastic.
There's something I need to come clean about. So I knew what the trivia answers were going to be tonight, and I taught you them in advance without you knowing. And I know you're against cheating, and this isn't cheating because you actually didn't know I was doing it, but I was just wanted you to focus on the confession, and I wanted your confidence to be up, but I feel terrible about it, and I'm sorry. I want to say I'm sorry.
So he's rehearsing coming clean. that cut was awesome.
You've tainted, you ruined the whole thing for me, because I knew the answers. and I'm on TV now, and everybody now is gonna think that I didn't know them and that I'm a fake. And you know how important this was for me. It's a mistake. It was a huge mistake. You fucked this all up.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Awful.
don't think he would react like that. But
I think you're a great guy. Like you're a great person. I don't give compliments a lot, so I wanted to come clean about just kind of saying the compliment. I don't affirm people enough.
come on, Nathan.
Of course.
All right, so that was episode 1 of the rehearsal, and that was about what I expected. Right off the bat, going into it crazy. I like the reveal. They kind of just put us in the situation for a minute, and then they let us find out what he was doing along with Core, his mark for the episode, so to speak. That he had rehearsed it with a whole simulated copy of his apartment, and that whole thing. I really liked the fact that, yeah, they did it that way, and they didn't like clue you in right away, and then it just, I mean, the apartment was one thing, but when they did the recreation of the bar, that was insanity. That was like I said, that would be so trippy to just like go somewhere like every week, and then you're gonna rehearse something you're gonna do at that bar, and you have like an exact copy of it with people who are copying the mannerisms of the people you're around all the time. It would just be so like bizarre. But I love it. I absolutely love that. That was fantastic. This show, the first episode, did something that I was talking about earlier. Nathan, for you also did, where it somehow, I don't know if he did this intentionally at first. I think he started leaning into it because he realized that he was doing it. But he's got this habit of, by putting people in these bizarre situations, you kind of see the side of people that they would normally kind of hide, or like some of his ideas, you know, they're so bizarre, but you see what people are willing to kind of go along with that you would think normally they wouldn't say yes to, but a lot of times they did. And then you get, in some episodes, you'd get these certain people that would, you'd find out something about them that then he would kind of pick at, and you'd see these sides of them that maybe they were kind of hiding. He'd bring those out, and you'd see like these sides of human behavior that, a lot of people would like bury and not like show on TV like that. And same thing here, where it felt like what I just watched felt like a raw like look into how, because like the situation's kind of dumb. It's honestly not that big of a deal. Guy doesn't have a master's degree. He told his trivia group he did, and then he hasn't really told them differently for 12 years. Kind of a bizarre scenario, very specific. I don't think many people are living this type of lie, but this guy is. But it's the way, the internal struggle of, even with all the rehearsal, watching his face, especially during that time when he was just sitting there, like you could see the struggle inside of him, and it's just like, it's a raw look at like the internal struggle of trying to figure out when to come clean, working up the courage, like all of that. You kind of saw that in the guy as it was happening, and then when he finally came clean, you got to see a man come out of his shell, basically, like right in front of you. You got to watch the dude, like, just, he gets that off his chest, and then he just keeps going, because, I mean, that is what happens when you get into like a deep conversation like that, or you break something, you break the ice, so to speak, with that, then it just leads into more naturally, as long as you let it. And so to watch all of that unfold in a show that's like a comedy, it's crazy to me sometimes how like deep, I guess is the best word, how deep Nathan Fielder's shows get sometimes when it comes to the focus on human behavior. it's definitely, it's like a interesting, yeah, like almost like an experiment, or like a, just like, I don't know the proper words to use for this, but it's just like, it's like a cool look into human behavior to a degree. And you wouldn't expect something from, you know, the guy who made poo flavored frozen yogurt for somebody to use in their frozen yogurt shop, but the same show that brought you some ideas like that brings you like insight into human behavior, and now this show is doing the same. At least that first episode, I thought it was really interesting when he started just sitting there and you just saw him kind of going through it in his head, even after practicing all those times. Like, it's almost like he was rehearsing it even more in his head. It's just really interesting. And that's the thing, while his ideas are hilarious and absurd and really dumb at times, they are interesting when executed. Like, they're just, you can't look away. And yeah, you get to see parts, like sides of people that you wouldn't normally see, and you get to see like the way people would respond to really weird situations like this one. So a really cool first episode. I'm excited to watch the rest of this, because that definitely, I knew I was going to get basically some more Nathan For You. That felt like an episode of Nathan For You, like a very bizarre episode of Nathan For You. So, definitely enjoyed that one. I'm looking forward to coming back for more. I'm curious because, you know, he kind of mirrored Core's struggle there at the end with the deciding to come clean to Core about the fact that he planted the trivia answers without him knowing. But from the way they edited it there, it doesn't look like he actually told him. So I'm gonna guess, because there were parts in Nathan For You where he would revisit people from previous episodes to like tie up loose ends that he left hanging in a couple of them. So I'm curious if he's not going to go back and like something in another episode he's going to use as like inspiration to go back and tell Core and finally come clean. Just a little prediction I'm making. I think at some point he's going to come clean to Core. And he's going to somehow tie it into another episode. But that was a very good first episode. Very much looking forward to more. Nathan For You and the Rehearsal, and just Nathan Fielder in general, is so unique. Such a unique, because it's not... A lot of people question whether Nathan Fielder is actually like this or if it's a character that he's doing. And I struggle. I don't know enough about him outside of these shows. I don't see a whole, like the interviews he does. He's also acting like that. And I mean, I think there was one where he literally brought a backup guest. It was Susan Sarandon, and it's like he's almost doing more Nathan For You stuff in his... Like, I think even one of them was he was like practicing a talk show interview. Like he practiced a talk show interview with like backup stories and stuff. But yeah, it just doesn't seem like he ever breaks his character if it is a character. So it makes you wonder if this isn't just how he behaves and it just works so well. It's kind of like I'm wearing a Joe Pera shirt, and Joe Pera's another guy where it's like he's this, like, it almost seems like he's doing a character, but then the more you see of him, the more you wonder, is it a character? Now, I actually had the fortune of meeting Joe Pera a few years back, and I got to have a conversation with him for a little bit, and he definitely, I don't think it's a character in his case. He seems to just be that genuinely nice guy with a very unique sense of humor, and I think that might be the same thing with Nathan Fielder. I don't think it's a character. It might be he hams it up a little bit, the awkwardness or whatever. But I think this is, to a degree, this is just how he is. He's just, I swear to God, the dude is like an evil genius. That's the best way to put it. He's an evil genius that doesn't do evil. He does good things for people. That's how to describe him. But yeah, I think that's going to be it for this video. I don't really have anything else to add. I'm kind of just rambling here, so... but yeah, very good first episode. Looking forward to the rest of this season. If you enjoyed this reaction video, consider hitting that like button. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you have any suggestions for anything else to check out. If you want to see more, if you want to stick around and come back and follow along, consider hitting that subscribe button. Helps me out, helps the channel. I'd greatly appreciate it. And you can check out some of the other stuff I do on here. I have a podcast I do where we talk about movies. I also do the occasional review, and I have I of course do reaction videos, so there's other reactions to other series you can check out. And also I do some other types of videos as well, so some different stuff to check out on the channel, and hopefully you'll stick around and join us on the journey through this series and many more. But until the next video, I'm Devin. Thanks for watching. Peace.